Hey, how are you? It's Kevin Kenney. Welcome to a brand new episode of Billboard in Studio. Our guest today, the man with the #4 album in the country right now. Hey, Boogie Wit Da Hoodie. What's up, man?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Thanks for stopping by. You just got done performing for us. 3 songs.
I just bought a Cuban ring and dipped it in a fountain. Chain so heavy, I feel like I'm holding up a mountain. Everywhere that I go, it's a light show, I'm surrounded. Bust down, bust down, bust down, bust down, bitch, I'm drowning.
All off the new album, or?
Yeah, all of the new album. Yeah,
Right
the bigger artist, man.
Crazy.
Facts,
I mean,
craziest
we got to
thing
start
right
with that album, man, and these numbers. I mean, you're like becoming like Billboard Boogie or something, man. It's like you got 5 songs in the Hot 100 this week, the #4 album in the country. And I love this. This is my favorite stat about Boogie here, is that you were #1 on the emerging artist chart last week. And you know why you're not #1 this week?
Wow.
You literally were so successful with this album, you've disqualified yourself. You're no longer an emerging artist by Billboard's definitions. Isn't that crazy? It's amazing,
That's lit
man.
right there. That's celebration vibes.
Definitely. You know, I talk about all these numbers. I throw these stats out there. I want you to be honest with this next question, this next answer, I should say. Has the response to this album, it's been tremendous, has it matched your expectations?
Yeah, people actually saying everything that I really wanted them to say. Like, my album wasn't for one specific person.
Yeah.
It was for all types of people. So it's like everybody getting different reactions and telling me different things about every song is like exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Like a whole bunch of different like reactions.
It's so funny you say that because I want to talk about the versatility of the track list and the sequencing of this record. It's really fascinating to me. But first, I want to start with where you're from. We're taping this right now in the heart of New York City. You're from just up the way in the Bronx, High Bridge.
Facts, PX.
How do you feel? You've probably been asked this so much, but you've never been asked it here, so I want to talk about it. How do you feel about New York City hip-hop right now? I mean, I feel like it's obviously always been there, but I feel like there is a moment happening in New York, right? Between Designer and Young M.A. last year and then Cardi and you this year. How do you feel about the current state of New York City hip-hop?
I feel like we catching back up to where we left off.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a minute since New York was live, so right now is a great moment for us to take advantage of this opportunity. Cardi got she broke a record, 19 years. Shout out to Miss Hill on that too, and Cardi B. Designer just for me, Panda went
Silly, man.
dumb for me.
Yeah.
So it's like, and people gotta really realize these things are coming from New York right now, and that's what we really gotta put a stamp on, man. So shout out to the next few years of us about to put this work in, man. And
Definitely.
congrats to all of us, you heard.
You know, like I feel like that's something. Obviously, the media makes a big deal about the state of a given area's hip hop scene or music scene. Is that something you think about as an artist? I mean, right now you're just making records. You're making great records, but is that something you think about? Is almost not putting New York on your back? That's too big, but really bringing the scene back to maybe where it once was.
Yeah, of course. Being from New York is like real important to me. Just being like representing New York, period. Like the way I dress, the way I make music. I can't be too extra with it. Like that's not New York for me. You gotta keep it New York to where it's not like, damn, you changing us too much. It's like can't go that far for me.
Yeah. I don't want to misattribute this next quote, but a publication recently called you the most promising artist out of New York in quite some time. When you read those words, do you agree with that? And how does that make you feel?
And man, it makes me feel like I belong here. Like, make me feel like I'm family in this game right here.
Yeah.
For real. Like, I make music for people to really hear me and listen to my words. Sometimes I like when you can play my songs in the club, but I go for the songs that really catch people's like emotions and like I'm not talking about just love songs. I'm talking about like even if you in a different bag, like you in a happy feeling, go listen to my song that's gonna keep you in that happy feeling right there and make you motivated to go make a million. Feel me?
Yeah. You talk about the different vibes of the record, different moods that you can be in and enjoy any real song on this album. How much thought went into the sequencing of this record? Because you kind of start, at least when I was listening to it, you start with some pretty straightforward hip hop, right?
Yeah.
And then you got a nice little R&B kick at the end. How did you go about the track listing and the sequencing of this record? Because it is so versatile and it's so diverse.
Yeah, I made it so that the beginning could be kind of like a good 5 songs that people could listen to in like the streets in a way that other people could still listen to it at the same time. And then on the end of my album is like just straight love songs, and then they go back to beast mode. So it's like a balance between love and for me hip hop and R&B.
Yeah, and it's an honest album too. I mean, again, going back to the versatility, you've got the bangers, you've got the R&B stuff, but then the track I want to talk to you about is "Stalking You."
Yeah.
Man, that's an honest song. That is like a 2017 love song right there, man. Can you talk about anyone watching right now if you haven't heard the album and you haven't really dug deep? Because I think it's on the back half of the album, "Stalking You." Talk about that song.
Yeah, "Stalking You" was a song I made. I made it for like my generation, kind of, because nobody really like, and I'm not gonna say older people, but yeah, you know that nobody can really listen to that. So I made it for our generation, and it's like interesting because that's all people do nowadays is be on Snapchat and Instagram and everything. So everybody you gotta feel that song right there, and the melody just makes it perfect. So
Yeah.
you gotta be feeling that one, and that song, yeah, true story.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. I mean, for if you haven't heard the song, you know what do you say? You're watching your snaps, you're on the gram, and you don't even follow them.
Facts, like you gotta make it. It's made for like girls and for me, everybody else to make songs like, I mean, make videos to that song on Snapchat and Instagram and everything. So
Yeah.
word, just go bump that when you in a different bag of.
Something that I think is really cool about the album that people might be sleeping on that are enjoying the record is the artwork. You're
Yeah.
pretty slick with this artwork, right? Because if you're a fan of A Boogie and you know your first record, your first project, I should say, last year, and then you're following to the bigger artist this year, you kind of switched up, right? Where the first album, you're playing piano and you're kind of being controlled by the strings, right? There's a girl there on the top of the piano, and then it's a little different this time.
Yeah, facts. Basically, tables turn. Like I was in those shoes back then. And that was different. It's nothing like that. So y'all see me with my little thing going on.
Yeah. What describe the album cover for it if you're watching, you're not familiar.
Yeah, my first album cover, my first mixtape cover is called Artist. My real name is Artist, so that's where that title come from. And it shows me being like used. I'm a puppet. I'm basically a puppet on a piano being played. Like I'm being played basically, and it's making me play this music. That's just fire. Like so, right now the tables turned in this new album called The Bigger Artist, and it's my first debut too. So it's a real big thing to me, and it's explaining like how I really came up and grew out of all that extra shit, and now I'm controlling everything that controlled me.
That's awesome, man. You've worked with some amazing producers on this record. I thought it'd be fun for those at home that are fans of the album to kind of go through some of these big names and just really quickly talk about what they uniquely lent to the song that you worked with them on. And just really quick here, we got Metro Boomin. What did Metro Boomin sort of contribute to the record?
Yeah, Metro. Shout out to Metro, man. He came all the way to my crib for this one right here. Metro. I felt like I needed one of his songs on my album. It wouldn't be complete without a Metro beat. That's how I felt, like just growing up listening to all the songs from Metro. Metro was like a new Scott Storch in our generation. So that was just like that was a good thing for a part of my history right there.
Yeah.
And his part of the album, he had 2 songs in there with me. One of the songs was a love song. People don't really go there with Metro. That's why I wanted to go there. And then the other song was a banger. So the other one.
You got both sides.
Yeah, both sides.
You mentioned Scott Storch, man. He's on the record, right? He produced one of these tracks too.
Yeah,
what was it like
I'm
working with
happy.
Scott?
Man, Scott, I went to his crib. Speaking of that, I went to his crib in LA. We was working, man. He's crazy with the keyboard.
On the
I ain't gonna lie, I never
man.
really seen nobody like that. Like he really was just looking at me like, "You want it like this?" I'm like, "Yeah." Or everything he did, I was rocking with it. Everything he did, I ain't even tell him change nothing. It was crazy.
That's crazy. One of my favorite producers right now, Murda Beats, also on
Yeah,
the
Murda
record.
Beats. Yeah,
What was it like working with him?
that's one of my favorite producers too right now.
Yeah,
and,
man.
Murda Beats, it's great work with him. We trying to make something happen right now. We got like a little EP or something we trying to work on.
Really?
Yeah.
That's exciting, man.
I got some.
And then you got the
I got some heat right now from
coming
Murda
up?
Right now. Yeah, he sent me like 30 beats the other day. He don't even know how many songs I made from it. I ain't even for me, but
You didn't tell him yet.
he gonna see this and he'll be like, "Yo, what's good, bro?"
That's my beat. And then you got the West Coast flavor, man. DJ Mustard's on the record
Yeah,
too. What was it
DJ.
like working with him?
DJ Mustard, or it was great working with Mustard, cause just like thinking about how I used to listen. Like when I was in Florida, I ain't gonna lie, most of the songs I heard was Mustard when I was in Florida.
Really?
Yeah, like good 2-3 years
Mhm.
back when I was in just like getting out of high school and everything. So it was just like, damn, everybody was bumping Mustard.
And now he's on your record, man, your debut album.
Exactly. Now it's like I'm on the Mustard record, and Mustard trying to do something with me too. So hopefully y'all hear that with High Bridge the label and Mustard word.
Definitely, man. That'd be tight. So let's talk about this tour that's coming up. It's kicking off October 19th, I believe, out in California, maybe?
Yeah,
Don't quote-
Cali.
California, I was right.
Yeah, we
Okay,
starting
cool.
out in Cali, yeah.
And then you're going, it's nationwide, right?
Yeah, everywhere. We gonna go. I don't know what's the first place we touching down, but when we go overseas, it's gonna be different.
That was wild to me because you got European dates, man. So are people, they're listening to your music all around the world.
Yeah, it's getting lit now.
That's crazy. Do you ever get data back, or like do you hear rumblings of like where things are popping off? Like are there
Yeah, matter of
specific
fact.
countries or cities that are really big on your music right now?
Yeah, the other day they was giving me kind of a breakdown of what's going on, and I'm like, damn, I'm lit over here. Like Germany, I'm lit.
That's crazy.
I was like, damn. What else right now? Canada, I was like top 10 in Canada. I forgot what it was, but my album was top 10 in Canada too. So
Dude, that's wild. I'm gonna let you go in a second, but I wanted to talk to you right before you leave about the Drowning video, which is crazy, man. Congrats on the success of Drowning, by the way.
good looking, man. Appreciate
But
that.
tell me the backstory of this video. For if you're watching right now, you haven't seen the video. It's pretty epic, man, in terms of videos, especially nowadays by today's standards.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was really under the water for like an hour, and then after that hour, like another 30 minutes, I was underwater. Like it was just the whole time I was underwater in that video, and it was like, damn, panicking for my life right now.
Yeah. Are you hands-on with like the video treatments and the concepts and like what goes into it?
Yeah, I
or-
love being a part of it. Sometimes like it was a while where I got a little lazy on the videos, but right now it's time where I'm getting back. I'm not playing, man. I'm making sure everything is A1 right now.
Definitely, man. We're
Alright.
excited to see what's next. Again, congrats on the success of the album. Excuse me,
Alright,
number
good
4 in the
looking.
country this week. The bigger
Uh-huh.
artist, hey Boogie. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, ready, man. Good looking.